Alright, so driving impressions with the JXB carrier bearing support bushing thingy. I mean, immediately, even going slowly through the neighborhood, it's just noticeable. There's no slop. I got the street one, which is a little softer. Supposedly the track one, or whatever the other one's called, can give you a little more. I don't think it's NVH specifically, but maybe sound coming from the drive shaft, kind of like a humming, or I guess a hummer, as some people might call it, a little bit of a hummer. But I'm all set in that department, so I didn't need any of that hummer. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's just, I don't know. I want to say night and day difference, but that's probably overused. But I mean, money well spent. I would highly recommend. If you have an Audi A5, B5, C7, B8, you get under your thing, especially as you get older, you get under there and give your drive shaft a bit of a jiggle. You know? Get a little older, get in there, a little jiggle here and there. You got some added play, extra play. This might be the little help you're looking for. Know what I mean? But I mean, it's just, the shifts are crisp. You can feel there's no like lag. It's just straight up. And I mean, the DSG was doing that before, but when you have that slop, I mean, I was almost, when I did the motor mounts, it felt awesome. Like, it was a good move to do the motor mounts, but I did still feel like there was something that was sloppy in the driveline. And I guess I was right, because now, like, that, I'm sure it's a harmonics thing. It's not specifically that the drive shaft's going nuts, but just enough to transfer a little ass shake to you. And it's not the kind of ass shake you normally want. And it was annoying. It was a pretty much right around in the 70s, you'd have like a little bit of an ass shake, like as if you had a wheel out of balance. And it was annoying. Chasing after tires, balance, you know, oh, that set of wheels, that must have a, you know, maybe swap the rears to the fronts, vice versa. Then I put a couple of the peelers on. I have Avant-Gardes right now. I put a couple of the peelers on there. Didn't go away. I'm like, okay, so it's not wheel related. That's strange. So, I mean, between tightening up the vibration, tightening up the vibration, just the solid feel when it shifts, no matter what speed, it just feels good. It really feels good. It feels like whatever the engine's doing and putting through that DSG, it's putting straight back, you know, into the drivetrain, and it just feels good. I would seriously recommend it. See, there's no, like, there used to be a little, God damn it. That squirrel is so lucky I'm in an all-wheel drive machine, let me tell you. Of course, because of course, why would he not continue to cross the street? He'd duck back at the... Maybe that squirrel just wanted to nibble on my carrier bearing bushing. Never thought of that. Maybe that's what he ran toward. I'm just glad I didn't kill him. Anyway, highly recommend. I normally don't drink the Kool-Aid and tell people that you should or shouldn't do something, but if you have one of these cars and you're up there in mileage or not even, because the amount of play, my it didn't even look like the bushing itself was completely gone. It just had like stress cracks in it and stuff like that. I mean, the amount of play though, it's just poorly designed. So your alternatives are, I believe, you have to buy a whole drive shaft, one piece that has that bushing, which is the same bushing that's failing. So I don't really like the idea of having to do that. And I think it's something like $800 or $900, if I recall correctly from the forums. So I never got that far. But this, the homegrown forum member, enthusiasts, engineer that takes the time to put this stuff together, to figure out manufacturing, to figure out tolerances, and then make improvements. Because the one that I got, it even had the original iterations, from what I gathered from the other reviews I had read, had individual rubber isolators and stuff like this. One had like a custom made piece that slid over the edges, and even the bolts, I mean, everything just looked really good. Everything has a serial number, everything has a name. Really, I wouldn't say over engineered, but engineered with the idea that you'll be able to service it yourself in the future. And just awesome. I think that little homegrown enthusiast putting together parts to give you another solution is amazing, because otherwise we would be driving around with jingly drive shafts. Nobody wants that.